In an earlier episode, my partner of 5 years, Brian, and I tried building a love map, a series of questions designed by the Gottman Institute that you discuss with your significant other that are meant to deepen your connection as your relationship evolves. Fast forward 4 months and we're engaged. It's been so exciting, but wedding planning has a reputation for being a stressful, overwhelming time, and I've heard that if handled poorly, it can strain the relationship between families and the couple getting married, even after the wedding is over. Luckily, there's a love map specific to wedding planning that can prevent things from spiraling out of control. Karen Bridboard, the Gottman Institute therapist I spoke to for our first love map experience, said that planning a wedding is often the first time a couple is planning something so large that incorporates both of their families and multiple opinions and visions. She also confirmed that when wedding planning conflicts are left unresolved or ignored, particularly problems around money or in-laws, the issues can plague a couple well into their marriage.
Okay.
Since Brian and I both want our wedding planning, our actual wedding, and our ensuing marriage to be as meaningful and healthy as possible, we were excited to work with Karen again and to get the wedding planning love map questions going.
What's the best way to communicate with you when you're feeling overwhelmed?
Who are those people that we don't want to get married without?
How do we integrate our family and friends into the planning process?
What would make our wedding a meaningful event that reflects our lifestyle and values? We had casually discussed some of the topics before we got engaged, but still, each question really helped us zero in on what's important about our wedding day and what's important to us as a couple. How do we approach planning financially if we feel like we're going to go over budget? We don't want to spend ridiculous amounts of money to just spend ridiculous amounts of money.
I think we've tackled the things we care most about up front, like the band and the photographer and the venue, and those are the more big ticket items anyway, and we understand that later on, we may have to sacrifice different tiers of flowers or less expensive invitations, but we're fine with that because we don't care about those items as much. If things get heated, what's the best way to help you reset and bring you back to the real reason we are getting married?
When we were picking between the venue options and we were feeling unsure of which one was right, I remember I was on the phone with my grandma and she said, at the end of the day, whenever you start to feel stressed or overwhelmed or upset, just think about the moment when you and Brian each put a wedding band on each other's finger.
No matter how things play out, we will be getting married, and that's the most important thing.
How do we manage pre-existing family conflicts in the wedding planning, ceremony, and celebration?
We just take that into consideration as we plan our smaller aspects of the wedding, like who's going to sit where, but we don't make it the key theme across every decision we make. The wedding is about us.
If you go into it with just like the attitude of like, oh, it's about us, we're not even going to pay attention to this, then you're literally setting yourself up for failure because you're not prepared for conflict. Plan for everything. Like we planned for our engagement. Right. We knew that my dad wasn't going to be at our engagement. You planned it so that it was going to be okay. You said he's not here tonight, but we're going home next weekend to celebrate with him, and that planned it. If you hadn't done that and we hadn't already talked about how we were going to handle my parents and our engagement, that would have been very upsetting. And it would have been like a huge miss. My favorite question was about how we wanted to feel the morning after our wedding, once everything was said and done.
I want to feel the same way that we felt the morning after we got engaged.
Yes.
Which was like pure bliss and excitement. I told you, like when we got engaged, I never really felt that feeling before. So I think I want to try to replicate that for the morning after the wedding.
If you're thinking about getting engaged, or it's already happened and you're in the throes of wedding planning, building a love map with your significant other is definitely a smart move. Since Karen says the questions are specifically designed to avoid the kind of problems related to money and in-laws that can fester for a lifetime. In addition to actually building the love map, there are micro steps to help you manage stress throughout the wedding process and help you focus on what matters most. To start, whenever the wedding comes into conversation, try considering the other person's perspective. It can be as simple as asking yourself, what might this person be feeling? Also, make sure that you're listening as much as you speak. Instead of giving your opinion or changing the subject when things get sticky, invite the other person to go deeper. Remember, the impact of a thoughtful wedding planning process will last long throughout your marriage.